TFL EV is brought to you by Flow Charger, maker of reliable, high-quality charging stations for your electric vehicle.
Check it out, guys. I'm in the parking lot and I'm sitting in a big truck and I'm behind the wheel with my friend Bert. Hey, Bert.
How you doing?
So this is the Work Truck Show. This is 2023 and you have a demonstration truck here. So, and you work for Allison.
Correct.
And you're showcasing your e-axle. So basically electric motors or one, integrated into the axle.
Correct.
And we can take it for a drive.
Absolutely. This is the 100S, which is a 10 metric ton axle. This particular one has two electric motors in it.
All right, so air brakes. So the vehicle is on right now.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's hard to tell because it's quiet.
Exactly. Right now you hear the air compressor, electric compressor filling up the air systems, but otherwise it would be totally silent.
Okay. So I just release the brakes.
Yep, foot on the brake, release the brakes, and hit D for drive. Leave that one, we don't have a trailer.
Okay.
So then just hit D for drive right here.
Oh, down here.
Yep. All right.
All right.
And then we're off. Just dodge the people out here.
And we could chat as we're driving around basically downtown area of Indianapolis.
Yes, sir.
But this is also kind of your home base, right?
It is. James Allison founded the company here 107 years ago. He was one of the four founders of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and our facility is just about a block and a half south of the Motor Speedway, just about 3 miles from here.
Well, this is pretty handy. I mean, and of course, Allison, I mean, primarily, I test usually pickup trucks, and primarily, you guys are known for transmissions, right?
Exactly.
So heavy-duty pickup transmissions, heavy vehicle, commercial vehicle transmissions.
Correct. We're in everything from the GM pickups with the Duramax all the way up to the M1 Abrams tank.
And the school buses and the fire trucks and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But now, is this kind of a...
We're going to go to
green.
the right here. Sorry, yep. And then we'll stay in the right lane, take the first right.
Wow, dude, this is kind of a unique sensation.
Yeah, with the electric motor, you have instant power, 100% torque right off the bat. So it's a little different than driving a conventional combustion engine.
Yeah, because first of all, this is a Class 7?
This is a Class 8, actually.
Class 8.
Yep.
So this is kind of as big as semi-trucks really can be. I mean, you could have a tandem axle, obviously,
exactly.
right?
You could have a sleeper cab on it as well, but yes, this is...
But the weight category,
exactly.
We're up there.
It'll go up to 80,000 pounds.
And I want to ask you about, of course, the motor setup and the axle. And you're building the motors in the axle.
We
right?
build the whole axle assembly. We
Okay.
don't do the batteries or anything like that. I would say get in the right lane here, and then we'll go to the left around the buses.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we build the axles. We don't do batteries. We can do the controls and handle it. We can be an arbitrator or consenter, so we can handle the controls, or if your body controller wants to do that, we can just take the command from you to apply this much torque to the axles. We're good either way. We're battery agnostic. Whatever batteries you want to use to give us power, we can handle. If you want to use hydrogen fuel cell, as long as you give us the power, we'll apply it to the axle, to the rear wheels.
And what we're driving is that the axle assembly, obviously rear drive, it's built in kind of where the differential is, and this is a dual motor setup we're driving.
This one is a dual motor, so you have a motor on the front and on the back of where the differential would be.
Okay.
We offer a single motor setup where it's just on the front, and then if you've got dual axles, you could have two singles, you could have a single and a double, or...
Do I go right?
You're going to turn right, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And stay in the middle lane, because the right lane is very rough here. And then we could also do two dual motors, like for real heavy haul. Typically, we would not recommend that type of thing, but it is available.
Yeah, and so a lot of power. So you're listing the power in kilowatts, but if you multiply those figures by about 1.3, you can kind of get approximate horsepower, right?
Approximate, yes.
So what is the continuous power? Is like 427?
I believe that's 440 kilowatt.
440.
Yeah.
So we're talking over 500
I'm
horsepower.
sorry, it is 427.
So it's really over 500 horsepower from this setup.
And again, that instantaneous torque right on your launch, you got 100% right at the beginning, instead of a combustion engine where you have to get everything spooled up.
So I've driven many electric vehicles, and I can feel regen braking, right? I can feel it slowing me down.
That's correct.
I can feel instant power and no shifting, right? I'm used to in a big truck like this, you'll either have an automated manual transmission, right, or some other transmission, and you would have those steps and gears.
This
right?
is a dual speed, so sorry about
Sorry.
that. Once we get up here, if you go ahead and floor it, once we get a little open speed, you might feel the first to second shift.
Okay, let me try that.
So there it's shifting.
Okay,
So,
and then now again.
Yeah. So that's all you're going to get is it's a 2-speed there. Then we
Okay.
want to get in the right lane. We'll follow these guys around the corner at the next lane.
So you have the torque for getting going, pulling the maximum load, right?
Correct.
And then you have a second gear. What is it, for cruising, for highway?
It just kind of keeps you in the sweet spot for whatever the torque needs. At higher speeds, you don't need as much torque. So yeah, for the higher speeds on the highway is typically where that would be used.
Makes sense. Once again, I'm feeling regen braking. It's really like
It's like a big golf cart.
kind of, because it feels a little bit more simple to drive, if that makes sense.
Yep. It's like a golf cart. You hit drive or reverse, and then you just steer and use the brake. And
Well, if you have a 53-foot trailer behind you, it's a little bit more than a golf cart, right?
it's a heavy golf cart.
But right now, at least, it's pretty cool.
But it's no different, than driving a normal Allison with an internal combustion engine. We're going to turn right here as well.
Okay.
You can manually select up and down ranges to pre-select if you need to, but you can also just hit drive and it will automatically do it for you. You keep both hands on the wheel, worry about what's ahead of you on the road. You don't have to worry about shifting or anything else.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, you could do tandem axles,
Absolutely.
single motor or dual motor. I mean, depending on your application or
Correct.
depending on your needs.
Yep.
And how many batteries do you know are in this chassis? We're in the international chassis right now.
Yes, this particular truck has two packs, and each pack has got a 2 sub pack. So let's see. I think they got 440 kilowatts total in this particular unit.
Kilowatt hours. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And we want to get in the right lane and just follow these guys into the parking lot.
And I could feel that shift. How does that work? I mean, is it kind of similar to some of your traditional transmissions, or how does that?
Yeah, very similar.
Okay.
Yeah. This one actually is I believe it's an air actuator, pneumatic.
Uh-huh. And it's all built in that one
Exactly.
case.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to see in this particular unit, but if you go into the show to the Allison booth or even just inside the main door, there's a static display sitting there that you can see a lot more of. So.
Well, it's very simple to drive. This is also kind of first of all, we're bobtail.
Makes it a lot easier.
And also, this is not a tandem axle truck.
And it's a very tight turning radius.
And it turns quite nice. So are these commercially available now? Or what's the timing on this motor?
We will go into production 2024. So right now we're working with various OEMs to integrate it into various trucks, demonstration units, and doing some durability testing, things like that.
Uh-huh. And the idea, like you were telling me before, this could drop into any chassis without like suspension rework, right?
Exactly. There's no changes to your suspension geometry, same wheel ends, brakes, all that, nothing changes there. So it makes it very easy to integrate into an existing truck.
That's quite interesting. So it's a 2-speed system with electric power, very smooth, very quiet. And that's the other thing, you know. Of course, diesel engines.
Yeah, turn here and then we'll go to the right. We'll just whip a U-turn.
Oh, all the way to the wall?
Go there, aim for that side, and then instead of backing up, we'll go over here. We'll just whip around.
Oh,
to
I
the right.
see what you're saying. Sorry.
That way we don't have to back up and worry about people behind us.
What I was also going to say is, you know, after 8 or 10 hours with a big diesel engine, right, there is a certain level of, you know, sound fatigue.
Exactly.
And here you don't have that.
Yeah, I'd say just hold up, let them.
Yeah, I'll let them by.
Yeah, and then we're good to go. Yeah, it's much quieter riding in here. I think what you're going to find is now the vehicle manufacturers are going to have to be more worried about all the rattles and shakes that used to be masked
by the sound of the engine.
Exactly.
And of course, there's other systems involved here.
Perfect.
Like you know,
electric
the steering,
compressors, electric power steering, all that. Yes.
So there's
AC,
a lot of other elements that
absolutely.
have to play into it.
Exactly.
But, and of course, you know, people will start asking about range, but it really depends on the application, right?
Application, duty cycle, how many batteries you've got. As configured with this, we would say about 250 miles. So we've driven it from Indy to Chicago with the trailer, and still had enough charge to get around town to get to a charging station. But you know, if you get a lot more start-stop, you get regenerative braking, so that extends your range a little bit. And it depends on how you drive and what you're driving.
All right. Well, really appreciate your time.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much. It was a really nice experience. Thanks.
Good deal. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right.